Have you ever wondered how plants reproduce? It's a fascinating journey, wrapped in beautiful, vibrant flowers and resulting in a new generation of plants. Let's dive into this intricate process. Flowers, the reproductive structures of angiosperms or flowering plants, play a central role. Their basic parts include the sepals, petals, stamens, and carpels. Sepals are the flower's first line of defense, protecting the flower bud. The petals, with their enticing colors and scents, serve as billboards to attract pollinators. Stamens, on the other hand, produce male gametes inside pollen grains. Carpels are the real MVPs, housing the female reproductive organs such as ovary, which develops into fruits after fertilization. Now let's talk about pollination, the process where pollen from a flower's stamen is transferred to stigma of a carpel. There are two types: self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination occurs within the same flower or between different flowers on the same plant. Cross-pollination, however, occurs when pollen from one plant is transferred to the stigma of a flower on a different plant of the same species. It's the star player, promoting genetic diversity, reducing the risk of inbreeding, and enhancing adaptation to changing environmental conditions. But how does pollen get transferred? It's either via wind, where the pollen is carried by the breeze, or via animals such as insects, birds, bats, and others who unknowingly transfer pollen as they feed on nectar. After successful pollination, the pollen tube grows from the pollen grain through the stigma, style, and ovary to the ovule. Once the pollen tube enters the micropyle of the ovule, it bursts, releasing sperm cells, male nuclei, that journeyed through this tube, and the sperm cells fertilize the egg, forming a zygote. This crucial process leads to the development of a seed from the fertilized ovule. What happens after fertilization? The fertilized ovule transforms into a seed while the ovary begins its metamorphosis into a fruit. The seed matures, undergoing structural changes and forming protective layers. Simultaneously, the ovary wall develops into the fruit's pericarp. This fruit not only protects the seed, but also aids in its dispersal. Seeds are dispersed by various means: wind, water, animals, to new locations where they can germinate and start a new life cycle. In essence, sexual reproduction in plants is a complex but beautiful ballet of flower structure and function, pollination, fertilization, and the subsequent development of seeds and fruits. These processes, working in harmony, contribute to genetic diversity and the survival of plant species in their environments. So the next time you see a flower, remember, it's not just a pretty face, it's an essential part of the circle of life.